Hello, friends. Happy Monday. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's A Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. Sorry, I was just checking on my mic. Once you hop on the live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you are watching from. I am live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your feed, that person is probably watching from a different platform. If you are watching on Facebook, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up or a heart and a follow, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are on YouTube, again, another thumbs up and a subscribe. That just helps out my little channel. And as always, if you like this project and think that others should see it too, or you just want to help out, please feel free to share this wherever you have permission to share. Tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. With that, let's go to the comments. Jason says, happy Monday, and he is watching from the other side of the door. One of these days I'll get him in here so you can see who is the better half of Robin's A Blue Creations. With that, let's go ahead while others are still hopping in, and we will flip the camera so you can see what I'm working on this evening. I think I might zoom out just a skosh, maybe. So we're going to be using this journal, and we're going to upcycle it a bit. So I have my journal. Hello, Miss Bonita, welcome. Oh, Bonita and her mom are watching from her. She's usually watching from her easy chair. Tonight she's watching on her dining room table. So I purchased this journal from a friend. I've upcycled this exact journal before. Probably should have downloaded a photo. Let's just see real quick if we can find it. Maybe journal. Let's just see real quick if we can find it. I only have 450 upcycled journals in my photos, so I probably won't find it, but let's just check real quick. Maybe we could do pink journal. I think I got this at the original one at Walmart, but I did pick this one up from a friend. Let's see. Oh, we're getting closer. And I do also have some canvas, and I have a portion of the book reading season. I should probably get that out, the rest of it. This is actually part of a G-size transfer. I'm not going to be able to find it right now. Let's do maybe a spiral notebook. I probably should have thought of this ahead of time, but I didn't. Actually, it's right here. So this is the original version that I've created with this same particular journal. This is the Good Things Take Time. Oh, Good Things Start Here. And I think that transfer may be still maybe in the sale category. You might check because it was super cheap the last time it was in there. So this transfer is part of the G-size transfer, so it's a 6x18, and I was going to pull out the other half. So if you happen to be a book nerd or love to read books, this would be a great transfer for you. So it originally came like this. So the other part of this would make a great library tote book or a t-shirt. It says book reading season. And then the other part of this says, sorry, I'm fully booked. And I happen to love me a good library card. So that is what we're making tonight. I thought this would be a cute little reading journal where you could write all of your book reviews and your to be read titles. So I think it's going to be perfect. So it is, the image itself is like 3 3/4 by 6 1/4. My notebook is roughly, so if I do 5 1/4 by like 6. Okay. So if I do like 5 1/4, whew, that's pretty wide. Oh well, it's going to have to be that way. So if we do 5 1/4, that's about roughly 3/4 on each side. So if I do 3/4, so I need to do 7 3/4 if my math stands correctly, which my math is terrible, by 5 1/4. Okay, let's write that on something besides a piece of paper towel. So I'm looking at 5 1/4 by 7 3/4 roughly. So that's what I need to put my fabric at. I don't even know why I have that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this measured because this is actually going to be our surface. So I have and this is part of the hanging banner refill panel, but you could go to any fabric store and get just some canvas. You could even, if you have made some, if you've torn apart any stretch canvases and still have one of the stretched canvas panel, like the fabric part of that, you could use that. What else could you use? You could actually just use watercolor paper. You could use the chalk suede paper that has been re-released. You could use a scrap of denim, which would look super cute. So I'm going to go 5 1/4, and I'm I don't even know why I got my rotary trimmer out, because you know we're going to tear this. So I just measured it at 5 1/4. I don't even know what I was thinking. By 7 3/4. So I'm going to put a little cut right there. Then we're just going to tear it, maybe. Yeah. Why did I get this out? I should have known I was just going to tear it. That was silly. Okay. So this one, we'll see which one of these strips actually looks better. I'm not convinced that the 7 3/4 is going to be the right size. So sometimes to size things, Bonita says, shame on you, tearing is always best. I don't even know what I was thinking. So sometimes to size things, I will flip my transfer upside down. Actually, that's not terrible. It's pretty even on every side, which was what I was going for. Let's check on this one. Is actually just 3/4 of an inch shorter. So let's check that one. So we know that both of these will work. Just kind of depends on which one you prefer. Do you want even spacing around your image? Are you symmetrical? Are you not symmetrical? Okay, so that's definitely not going to work, because I do like some of the notebook to show up. So, and just so you know, these little parts of the gold right there are going to show, but I'm not terribly worried about that. So I think I should probably go with this one. That's about a good. So we ended up going just a little over 7. That 3/4 of an inch was too wide. Let me put this over there. And then this one isn't very sticky, but I'm going to use it anyway. So I just have a sticky mat here, it's just going to help hold my fabric down. Much better with the smaller one, I happen to agree. So if you are new here or new to Couture, these are reusable silkscreen transfers. They are reusable about a dozen times or so, or more, depending on how well you take care of them. Because they are reusable, I need to mark the back somehow. So I'm just going to put book, since I cut this away from the other part, I'm going to put the name of the transfer, book reading season, and that was a G, but I'm also going to put sorry ... booked, just so I know that this isn't a standalone transfer and that it goes with book reading season. Even though the branding is there, it may not always be there when you cut it apart. So these are also adhesive backed, which is nice. So I'm not going to fuzz this because I am working with fabric, although I'm not going to be using ink, because it's not like I can throw this notebook into the washer. So if it gets dirty, it's going to get dirty. So I'm just going to use paste, but if you are in doubt, feel free to use ink. Although I probably should. Although I don't have ash ink, but I could make ash ink. Nope, I'm just going to use paste. So my original thought was just to use an all over color, but I kind of like the whole library card / guest check look, with most of the card being a neutral color and then this text being like a bright color. I'm going to see if I can pull that off. So I think I'm going to do the ash first, because when I was in ceramics, I learned to do your lighter color first, because your darker color will go over your lighter color. So we're going to use ash first. This was last fall's in Vogue color, which it's now sold out, but I did put black velvet paste and bright white paste, or no, I put, what did I put? I think I put black velvet and bright white paste in the cart link in the description of the video, so you can mix the two colors together and make your own ash color. You could also use shimmer silver. You could also just use straight black. I just wanted it to be a little bit more neutral than black, like a more mild neutral. So I'm just going to dip my squeegee into the paste. And I'll probably do this in sections just because I don't want my paste to dry in the silkscreen area. I'm going to try to avoid the portion that says, "Sorry, I'm booked." So we're just going to do this portion up here. So I've got it pretty evened out. Maybe. Hopefully this will work. It's going to be a little bit trickier because I'm on fabric. So I'm just going to burnish around where I pulled. I'm going to switch to my smaller squeegee, which is just one of these minis cut in half. So I can do some of this, some of the lines around the text that I'm trying to avoid. I think I need a detail tool. We're going to go even smaller with the detail tool, which sadly is not available anymore. But you could cut these little squeegees up into little teeny tiny pieces if you would like. So I think you could also probably get away with a paintbrush. Okay, so let's stop there. I'm going to pull down here. And keep in mind, this particular transfer has some built-in distressing, so not all of your lines are going to come out perfect. Some of them are designed not to be full lines. There's some distressing. Turn your project as needed. You watch. I'm gonna do great on the ash portion of this. of the gray part, and then I'm going to totally botch it when we go to the peak. Okay, I should probably stop there for just a little bit. So you can see there's some distressing in there. That's on purpose because that's where a lot of that bolder text is. Did everyone have a great weekend? I actually had, Jason and I had a fabulous weekend. We actually spent almost well, roughly 5 days with my mom. I had, like Jason pointed out, I had not done that probably since before Jason and I got married. And it was fantastic. We, despite, I mean, I went down, it was her birthday last weekend, so that was the main point, but we also cleaned out my dad's closet, and so we brought all like 8 bags ish of his clothes and took them to the Goodwill store. So that was a big step for us. I wished my brother and sister could have come, but I understand. So it was fun. You'd be lost without your detail tool. We're busy taking care of little Ricky. Oh yeah, how did his knee surgery go? Okay, I think I'm done with the ash. I'm just putting my excess back in my jar. I know, I wish they wouldn't have discontinued the detail tool, but if you don't have this little detail tool that's about less than 1/4 of an inch, you can cut down your little mini squeegees as small as you want. So that's a little larger than the detail tool, but it would still work great. In fact, I'm gonna clean my detail tool off. Good, it went well. Even Jason said he's glad it went well. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of burnish gently where my text is. Yay, it's still good. Mama's here to take care of them while you're at work. I bet she's been quite the gift for both of you since you've been back at work. Well, good. Yeah, Mom requested her favorite cake, which was a banana cake with banana icing. So think banana nut bread only in cake form, and then it has, I didn't think I'd remembered it. I didn't think I knew what it was, but now that I made it, I kind of remember it had the best banana frosting. It's just powdered sugar, a banana, and a stick of butter, and holy cow, it was so good. So she was excited she got to get her favorite cake. So I'm just using the detail tool and raspberry sorbet to go over the bolder text. Probably thinking I should have done this color first, probably. But we'll get there. Hello, Miss Amanda. seen you for a while. It was good. I'll have to, maybe I'll share the recipe on Facebook. It was really good. It has the recipe calls for walnuts in the cake, but she likes pecans instead, which I'm glad because I love pecans. So it's literally like the flavor of banana nut bread in cake form. Oh, if any of you all are local and you're gonna be out later, you should go to Scooters, and it's a fundraiser for Amanda's daughter's cheer squad. Is that what you call them? Just mention MRA when you're ordering. Okay, so I need to know from you all that are local to me, if I offered classes again, would you all come? And my next question is, would you attend them if they were over in Ellsworth? And I've got some great ideas for some. And third, what kinds of cozy crafts or creative things would you like to see in class form? Ask if you go to Scooters, mention MRA or Midwest Rivals when you order, and a portion of your order proceeds will go to her cheer squad. Maybe if I get done quick enough, we can shoot over there. I don't know what time they close though. I meant to go on my way home and I forgot. Oops, I guess I better, I'm just sitting here painting. So I pulled that up. Saw that I missed a spot. Thanks for the reminder, Bonita. I almost forgot. I was like, oh, I'm just over here painting, pasting. It actually ended up fine. Guess I forgot I wasn't using ink. Just in my own little world. Make sure you go back and watch last week's projects. I made a sunflower leaner, which I gotta make one for my mom. I don't have to. I will get the honor. And then we made a UV resin junk keychain or tag and tassel for a dog themed composition book that we made a couple months ago, actually. So I can already tell you part of this bled, and that could be part of the fabric. It could be that I'm pressing so hard with this detail tool. But I think it'll be fine. Not really bled, it's kind of more feathering. Okay, I guess before I pull that up, we should make sure that it looks. I missed a whole line there. I think I missed a gray line. Well, it wouldn't be night driving. Probably the Ellsworth ones would be on like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. because I don't like driving at night either. I don't like driving, period. It's cute. Sorry, I'm fully booked. Okay, I'm gonna go put this, excuse me, in my sink and spray it down so it doesn't all dry on me while we're doing the rest. Be right back. Wipe my hands off. Jason says, that's why you have a chauffeur. Sundays are out for me, church, and then lunch with my son's family. Yeah, I'll be mixing them up. So, but yeah, it's good to know. So what kind of projects would you all like to do if I did those? Do you have anything in particular in mind? I have a long list of stuff, like I'd like to do some bag charms with the paracord and the bangles and the carabiners and then I thought about the paper bag, those little 10-inch paper bags, paper bag wreaths with a cute little seasonal tag. And I think that would be fun to do a recurring. That could be a recurring one because you could make different seasonal or holiday tags for your wreath. What were some of the other ones? Gosh, I have a whole list now. I can't even think of anything. These upcycled journals, those little 3x4 mini cinch notebooks that I've made. Amanda said, Theo said anything. I'd like to do those. I think those UV resin junk keychains would be fun, but I'm not for sure I could have them. I'd have to be strategic where I have them because, like, if I did them upstairs here at my house, because of the UV resin and the window, the gigantic window that's right there, the resin might start to cure too fast. But I might be able to check with our church and see if I could have something there. What are some of the other things on my list? I have a big old long list, but now I can't even remember what it was. Bonita says she loves variety of DIY graphic tees and tote bags. I think that's pretty good. Okay. So I've got that there. That's going to be cute. I should have made this thinner on the sides, but I was also trying to cover up all of that too. I think it'll be okay. So we're going to try a new, I have some of this double-sided scrapbook adhesive. It's adhesive sheets. I don't know if it's going to be sticky enough, but I also have Fabri-Tac, which I'm going to go ahead and stick upside down so we can get it going. So I may do mostly scrapbook adhesive sheets and then leave a little bit of edge showing so that I can put Fabri-Tac down. We may do that. It could end up being a big old mess. We're going to wing it anyway. Okay, so if I leave that border I'm going to cut that there. So I have that sheet. I don't really want to leave. Okay, so I think we'll do that. That should give me. So this is the brand, and you can get it in all sorts of, I've got it in 8.5 by 11 sheets. I have it in 12 by 12 sheets. You can get it in a tape roll version. So I'm just going to wait. Okay, hold please. Okay, hopefully this is sticky enough. So I'm just going to expose a little bit. And then I think I need that. So I'm actually going to stick it down. I'm going to burnish that part down. I'm hoping that this sticks. May not. Okay, and then let's burnish that down pretty good. Kind of. I think it works better on paper than it does fabric. I'm also going to burnish on this side a little bit. See if that helps. We may have just created a mess. I want to make sure it's going to pull off. Yep. Okay. We're cooking where there's peanuts now. We're digging where there's potatoes. I'm going to cut mainly because I don't want any overlap. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to think what else was on my list. I've got a list. So I'm just going to use my squeegee. And we'll get this other little piece down. Come on. Okay, so let's get that good and burnished. I'm going to flip it over. We're going to varnish this side. And I think we can pull it away, and then we'll add our Fabri-Tac. There's a few little spots that it didn't transfer, but that's okay. I can add a little Fabri-Tac in there where it didn't. Okay. So then let's get our Fabri-Tac out, and we'll just do the edges. Oh, here she comes. She's coming out whether I'm ready or not. Oh gosh, I got that on the outside. Just be real careful when you have wet glue and paste. Oh gosh. So I'm going to spread that a little bit just so it's not so gloppy. Oh, fart. Just stuck my finger in there. I didn't get as much on this side, so. And then I can see where I missed. Okay. I need to be careful where I. Okay. Ugh. Careful, glue queen. Yeah, I am the queen of over gluing. It's not quite even, but we're going to go with it. I'm going to use and just carefully especially on those edges. I just want to make sure that that Fabri-Tac is smooth and not gloopy. Luckily, I didn't use too much. And I don't necessarily want the edges totally down, because this way it will fray some more, a little tiny bit. But I think that's down pretty good. It's probably a little uneven. I'd say that's down pretty good. Nope, it's not. I lied. I'm just going to put a little bit, because it's just coming out all on its own. Just put a little bit on my mat. I definitely want the corners down. That can maybe fix. That one's good. Get this off before. I can fix some of that later, but for the most part, that's pretty good. It's a little uneven right here, but I'm not worried. Once we get our tassel on, nobody's gonna notice. Let's get these scraps thrown away. And the last thing we need to do is a tassel. And I think, I don't know if I want beads. So that's what we have so far. Sorry, I'm fully booked. Jason says that's really cute. Let me get some beads. I've got this size and I've got this size. I'm kind of thinking the smaller size, but I think it'll tie in well with the natural canvas. And I know that my tassel maker is upstairs, but that I kind of didn't go get it on purpose because we'll just, that will give me a reason to make do with something else. I'm just trying to find, I need a twisty tie. Fall on my chair. Because I like to save all my little twisty ties. Benita says, loving it so far. Thank you. And she likes the little beads as well. So I like to save my twisty ties and use them as needle threaders. The next thing I need to do, try to just gauge I think I'm going to use this as my tassel maker because actually it'll work perfect. You just need a piece of cardboard. You could even use your hand if you wanted to. I'm going to use the bottom of my phone holder, and I'm going to wrap this maybe 35 times. Maybe not, because this is chunkier. But I do like a double C thick tassel. So this one was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30. Let's stop at 30. I'm going to need 2 more pieces. And this may be a Walmart from a long time ago. I think I bought it in my arm knitting days. Not finger knitting, but arm knitting. When I think that was Walmart yarn. So I'm just pulling my yarn bundle off, and then I'm going to use this one. Wait, no, not yet. So I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put the twisty tie through the loop of the yarn after I've folded it in half. I'm going to use this to loop the beads onto my yarn. I'm going to leave. Well, do I want to do it that way? I'm just trying to figure out if I want the knot at the top. Because I'm going to need this pretty thick for I'm just trying to decide. I think for safety's sake, because I'm afraid if I just do it with the loop on the top, I'm going to have it pretty large to get the rest of my tassel through to tie it, put it onto my coil. So we're going to go back to the original plan. This way we can have our knot up at the top, and then we can kind of cut it off at the end. So we're just going to tie this around our bundle, and I'm going to go under and back around just to maybe tighten it a little better. There. Okay. And so now I'm still going to be in the same predicament. I think, because I didn't make those very long, I think I'm just going to put my beads on one side. Stay with me. This may work, this may not work. This may look funky. I may not like that. Okay, well, let's finish with the rest of our. Okay, I'm going to figure this out, this part, later. Right now we're going to cut this. And I'm just going to put my scissors at the bottom. Oh, that ended up better this time. So now we're just going to comb through our tassel to kind of even things out, get rid of all those tassel cowlicks, because it likes to separate where you've tied it. So I just kind of comb, I do a kind of a comb over, try to hide those little spots. And then to make the neck, I'm going to take my other piece and I'm going to put a bow or a loop at the bottom. I'm going to put that loop on top of my tassel and hold both sides of that with my thumb, and then I'm just, without losing all of that, we're going to start tying or just wrapping this around the neck. And then we're going to put the tail that we've wrapped around the neck down through that loop. And we're going to pull, oh, bummer. I think I lost the other, we're going to reverse. I lost my other tail. Okay, so now we're going to do that again. So we're going to make our bow, our loop. Make sure you keep track of this tail. We're going to wrap the rest of this around the neck as tight as you can, pretty tight. Now we're going to take that tail through the loop. We're going to hold on to that tail. Now we're going to take the original tail from the loop and we're going to pull it up. And then you want to cut off those pieces pretty flush. And kind of stick them up under the neck. With yarn, it's fairly fuzzy, so you don't always see that, but and then you just kind of want to even out all the little loops. If you got some rogue pieces. And then you just want to even everything off at the bottom. She's floofy. Can't I run the other piece of yarn like I did to the other side? Not following. That is way not even close to being straight. Hold, please. That's better. Whew. Okay. I wanted to still keep a loop up here so that I can run this. So pretend this is a loop. I can put this through this top coil and still be able to run my tassel. Of course, the beads make it a little difficult. I could still run my tassel through my loop. I don't know if that gives me enough length. I may just, instead of looping it through, we may just tie it on. So now I have both strands of yarn in the twisty tie. Ooh. Oh, golly. That's too much. Mary said, that's a big tassel to loop. Yeah, we're going to have to revise our plan. Now I have too big of a knot down here. If I can get that bead over that knot. I like big tassels and I cannot lie. I've got a rogue. There we go. Found it. Okay. So now, Mary, do you recognize my notebook? She says it's cute for sure. Sorry, Mary, I missed you coming on. So now instead of just looping it through, I think, I sure would wish I could loop it through, but I don't think I can. So I think I'll just tie it on. So that will have to do. Super cute. I absolutely what did I beat you to, Jason? Asking Mary if she recognized the notebook. Yeah, I was showing everybody that this is the second of this pink notebook that I've had. The first one I did a while ago, and it looked like that. See, on this tassel, I have a loop at the top, and I think, oh, I think I made it actually on the coil. So I put the loop, tied a knot, added the beads, and then I tied the tassel at the bottom. So I actually made it on the coil. But I think this works because I like this little extra tassel at the top. Boy, she is a chunky monkey. That is faux show. Gonna give her a little trim. No, I have. Okay, so again, this was part of the book reading season size G transfer. We just did the sorry, I'm fully booked. And then we added the tassel. So we did ash and raspberry sorbet. We don't have ash. I'm not even for sure we have raspberry sorbet. It may be sold out too, but you could mix black velvet and bright white for ash. Benita says, take a tiny paintbrush or Q-tip and put some glue on the yarn I just tied to keep it from unraveling. I actually don't mind it unraveling because this knot, you can't even see what the crud I'm doing. This knot will stop that part from unraveling. And I don't mind if all of this unravels, but that will stop unraveling with that knot. Nah, I'm not worried about it unraveling. So here's the cute notebook that we made. Sorry, I'm fully booked, with a cute little tassel. And this one is just a lined and perforated notebook. So it would be a cute little reading journal or a to be read list. I don't even know what else. Super cute. These are great sellers for me in my booths. They would be great sellers, I think, on Whatnot. Mary says she misses ash. I do too. It's such a great gray color. Yeah, but I bet you could, anybody else besides me could totally color mix black velvet and bright white to make ash. Me, I would still end up making poo brown. So super cute little notebook. If you happen to make one, let me know, tag me in it, post it in the Crafty Lounge. Benita says, sweet, you have trouble with your knots coming undone with my arthritis. You can't seem to put them tight enough. Sometimes you have to have Rick tie them on for you. I haven't had that issue yet, but you could totally use some glue for your knots, but I'm a pretty good knot tire. Super cute. What would you use this little notebook for? Tell me in the comments. Oh, duh, I didn't even go through any of the promos. So here is this month's Club Couture. I actually have it right here. We will probably do that on Wednesday. I was super excited to use this notebook and this transfer, so that's what we did tonight. But here is August's Club Couture transfer for the month and bundle. This is a monthly DIY kit mailed directly to your mailbox. And there is a, let me go to this real quick. If you join Club Couture in August, you get this free faux window frame with your first shipment when you join as a new Club Couture member this month. So just kind of keep that in mind. This one is called Change is Beautiful. And it says, fall is proof that change is beautiful. And it also says, welcome home. And then it has a little floral foliage pattern at the bottom. And then you get 3 paste singles this month. You get Bright White, Dune, and Espresso. Perfect fall colors. And then you get a simple rectangle that is 5 by 7. And then you get another slim cut rectangle that is 5.5 by 3.5. So let's cut into that. And then you get 4 little adhesive dots. So the idea is to stick this to this, but kind of like a faux frame. So I bet that in the sample picture, they painted this with the Dune, and then they pasted this pattern on white on top of the Dune, and then they painted this shape with Espresso, and then they probably pasted the Welcome Home also, either in, you could do it either in Dune or white. So we'll have to figure out what we want to do. But this is your Club Couture bundle for August. It is $25.99 retail pricing, and then I've also listed perks pricing and designer pricing. But again, you get a free surface when you join Club Couture in August. Free faux window frame. The color of the month is Shimmer Home, and Home, we've had that before as a color of the month, but this month it happens to be a shimmer, so there will be suspended glitter. So if you like the look of glitter without all of the glitter all over your craft room, the shimmer pastes are perfect for you. And you can unlock the ability to purchase that with a $75 order. And then if you order Shimmer Home for a limited time, you can get a free past color of the month when you order Shimmer Home. So lots of great specials right now. That is exclusive for Perks members and designers. Again, it pays to be a Perks member. The Perks membership is kind of like your crafty Costco membership. You pay it in your $20 crafty Costco fee, and then you automatically get that back as a $20 product credit to use in the next 30 days. You can shop at 30% off retail pricing, and you can get exclusive promos and discounts like the free color of the month, the free past color of the month when you purchase the current color of the month. These are just some of the collaborations that we've had over the last year or two. Peanuts, Looney Tunes, Mickey and Friends, Winnie the Pooh, Harry Potter, Friends, Seinfeld. I forgot Stitch, Toy Story. I need to add those two. Lots and lots of collaborations. So you can DIY your own licensed regalia. You can make your own licensed journals, t-shirts, tote bags, hats, to give as gifts to your Disney and Warner Brothers loving friends. This is where you can find me. And then I have my first crafty whatnot sale on August 15th at 7:30 p.m. And my friend Mary, who was on earlier, she is also on Whatnot. That's where I happen to get this cute little notebook. It's Mary with It's a Chalk thing on Whatnot. I've got some, I think that's pink yarn. So anyway, that is some of the specials this month. If you happen to make a notebook using the Sorry I'm Fully Booked from the book reading season transfer or any other transfer, show me in the Crafty Lounge or post it on your profile and tag Robin Ziegler Creations. I would love to see it. Or if you put it in stories, tag me. I would love to see all of your upcycled journal creations. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I will be live again on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this evening. I hope you have a great rest of your evening and a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.